you had to reset all your like my sources for my scenes when I'm actually um in it. I mean, you had to just reset everything, and it was a drag doing it more than anything.
Yeah, they should
You know,
have an option for backing up your. I think there
well,
is a
they do
save
now.
option.
That there is now
Yeah,
you could actually go to your file and then
just save.
save.
Yep.
Make sure that you save your profiles,
Didn't
and
they
it
have that
works really
before?
good now. Yeah.
So that's a good thing that they put in there. But yeah, I do agree. Like 3 or 4 months back, OBS was a lot more stable and simplified and ran a lot better. And now it's like they're trying to keep up with some of the other solutions out there and they're adding all this other stuff, but they're breaking the things they already had right in the process. So that's kind of a shame. But that's growing pains. So for a project that's free, I can't complain.
Can't complain at
XSplit
all.
XSplit gives you like 1% of their features for free, and then says, hey, if you even want to test out the rest of our features, you have to pay. So what happens if you pay and you find out it sucks? Oh yeah, well sorry about that. Take it up the ass. I
Exactly.
hate that business model. So that just based on that principle, it's like fuck you, XSplit.
Well, and like I said, it's basically what people actually want to. With what Soldier was saying, if you're, you have, or you were saying, if you're one of the big people like, and I'm gonna bring his name out again. I use him a lot, but Swifty. If you're like Swifty and you're running a gaming house and you got you guys seen his computer. And, you got that monster fucking rig that you don't have. It doesn't matter what you run. You're gonna run it good. Then you can of course go use XSplit. But if if you're that gamer that is just trying to make it, just trying to start something, OBS is perfect. Don't let anybody ever tell you that OBS is terrible. Don't do that. You're gonna screw yourself in the long run. No, it's not. But anyway, what we are gonna do right now is do we have? I'm actually looking at something right now, but we do have some. Where's all my references? There they are. What the? Do we do double pages of this?
Or what?
Maybe.
I don't know. Did we? We have some miscellaneous material sources for you guys that we did use, of course. Um, and you guys remember too on the deals for cheap bastards. The humble bundle too, guys. Remember the humble bundle. The humble bundle does help more than people think it does. What is it? Isn't it 50%? What is can one of you guys explain that again for me?
The humble bundle, what it is that what they do, you can donate any amount of money you want for a certain set of games. There are some games that you have to donate extra for. Like right now, you have to pay $6 or more to unlock three other games: Penny Arcade, and Penny Arcade. Three Penny Arcade games. Actually, the whole thing's pretty much Penny Arcade at this point. Um, but what you do is you can put the money towards wherever you want. You can pay $100 for all this. You could pay $1 for the games that that you don't have to pay more for, or you can just pay the $6 and get all six games here. And then you can even adjust the where the money goes. I believe right now they have the developers get a hunk, Child's Play gets a hunk, and Humble Tip gets a hunk.
Mm-hmm.
You can either throw all of it at Child's Play, you could throw all of it at developers or Humble Tip. You could throw it wherever you want, or you could just do a default split, which looks to be like developers get the most, then Child's Play, then Humble Tip. Um, and you pretty much just purchase the game. They've got it to where for the most part, you can just sign into your Steam, and it just automatically uploads them all right to your Steam. They do have a store open now that typically has discounts for the most part. Some of them don't. I don't know if that money actually goes anywhere. I have not looked into that because it's just easier for me to stick with Steam than try to purchase from their store.
Right.
But yeah, that is the humble bundle. You can get some good deals. I have gotten some good deals there, and good news is you can put it all towards charity. So good cause, good games, win-win.
Definitely. Definitely, definitely. And you guys just remember that a lot of the things that with these, we're not getting paid to do any of this. We're doing this just because we think that it's you know some of the best deals out there. So why not? If we're getting these deals, why don't we want to give them to you guys? I guess. I guess is that what good to say anyway? You guys go ahead.
Sharing the
Um,
love.
exactly. Yomar, last thoughts, sir.
Actually, a good catch on the Penny Arcade.
Or did I just call you Yomar? I did really.
It's all right.
Yogi.
That's one part of him.
I mean, that's
Right.
that is my birth name, but everybody calls me Yogi these days. Kind of weird. And that's just kind of
Yeah.
I've kind of evolved to that. But yeah, good catch on the Penny Arcade Humble Bundle because I actually like their games. They got the throwback thing going on there, like they have like the JRPG style games, which I actually really like that style. Very simplified. But yeah, 10% of all the sales on the Humble Bundle store, I believe, all the Humble Bundle store sales go to charity. But then with everything else, the actual Humble Bundles and the Humble Bundle weekly sale, those you get to determine how much goes to charity and the whole distribution of the dollar amounts. So it's really cool because in a way you get to see how your money goes to work. I'm a big fan, big fan, and also a lot of the games are DRM free for those that hate DRM. And it's like, oh, screw Steam, screw all that stuff. It's like, okay, whatever.
Right. All right. Any other last thoughts for you guys?
Are we closing out?
I'm just doing some last thoughts. I'm getting some extra the end stuff wrote down here real quick. So
Is
that's why
this
I'm asking
is
for your
it
guys' last thoughts.
is it a good
Last thoughts of
time?
the stream. Yes, it is.
Okay, so shameless plug then. I want to get one
Yep.
out there. I'm on. I've been. We're gonna be collaborating with allgames.com. So check out their stuff on Stitcher and on allgames.com itself. They're also on iTunes for people that are on Macs. Sorry to hear about that. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm like anti-Apple. I should stop that.
Yes.
But I'm on the Christmas episode of Gaming History 101. So check that out. We had fun. We did a retrospective of the third and fourth, pretty much, of video games, 91 through like 96, and we talked about some of the games we were playing for Christmas back then. So really cool episode. Check it out. There's four of us. There's drinking involved and everybody acting pretty crazy. It's a good time. So that's Gaming History 101. They're.com as well, but it's allgames.com. It's a whole network of gamers and podcasters and whatnot. So it's pretty cool. And hope maybe we'll be joining them and put our podcast up there and get it up on Stitch
Definitely.
and
That,
whatnot.
that sounds really good, man. I'll make sure I check that out for you. We do have a question from the stream chat. They want to know, and I think this is going to be pointed at Soldier. Where can you choose the way you split the humble bundle? Actually,
When you get
Yogi.
there, you scroll down and you will see number 2. It says choose how you would like to divide up your contributions. You can click default, all to charity, all to developers, or you can even customize it yourself. That's after you choose the amount up in number 1 at the bottom.
Yes, but I don't think it lets you customize distribution on the store sales, does it?
No, the store sales. I believe that's what's That's what I don't know about the store sales themselves. Let me see here. If you click this,
I recall reading on the store sales, it said all sales, 10% of the proceeds go towards charity. I think that's preset.
Yeah, it's preset because I've just tried buying something and it wouldn't let me preset it to wherever I wanted. I'm probably gonna say that they separate it however they want at that point.
Yeah.
So you can't pick, or you can, or it's just really not. You can't refine it.
You can pick on the Humble Weekly Sale and the Humble Bundle.
Okay.
On the Humble Store, you cannot. You just buy it. I believe the Humble Store is less of a charity thing and more of the Humble getting big enough to where they want to open their own store and start making more money off of it. Because
Yeah.
let's get real. Whenever I do the Humble Weekly sale, I'm gonna throw more towards the charity than I am towards the developers, like they have it defaulted as.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because I mean, I'm not putting much into it any already. I'm gonna throw all of it into charity. That's why they do sales like that. That's why these game companies give them the games to sell at such a cheap price, is so that they can do charity. And so I
Right.
try to throw all at charity if I can.
Well, the flip side too is that a lot of people don't even bother giving Humble their tip. So like they have operational overhead.
Yep.
So I'm sure there's some people that say I'm gonna give 100% to charity, which is nice in theory, but
Yeah.
some of these are small indie developers. They don't have that much money, and you give 100% to charity, but they get nothing in return. They lose the incentive to do future sales,
Oh,
and
here
then
it is.
you
The
know
Humble Store, 10% of proceeds go to charity.
ah
Says it at the top.
yep.
So
Okay,
when you
so
buy a
there
game
it
from the
is.
Humble Store, 10% of it goes to charity. And they have
Okay,
raised so
well
far
that's
309,000.
okay. That's good then.
So I'll put in
So
the show notes.
309K. That's very nice. Very
Confirmed.
nice. Confirmed. It is 10% to charity from the Humble Bundle, and the reason
That's for the store. For the
I
store.
for people that have known me for not very long, I've talked about it quite often, but I like to do charity streams. I like to do what I can do. I mean, but there's comes a time where charity is just. I mean, you can only be so charitable within until you start losing your ass. Um, Before I've had a couple people, and they still come in the stream every now and then, but that everything I did was I'm doing this for charity. I'm doing this for charity. I'm doing this for charity. Well, get donations every now and then, and it goes, and I go bring it to the wherever I'm doing charity for, but it's to the point where I'm still gonna do it for charity, but like once or twice a year, not 8 or 9 times a year, just because it's everybody's like, oh, charity, charity, yay, and then I try to give a giveaway. Well, what's the point of the charity if you're gonna give something away?
Yeah. You know what? It's also like
Okay,
I do a lot
bring
of
us up.
consulting, right? And that's how
Mhm.
I mainly do is I do a lot of freelance work, and I do consulting with small businesses and a lot of nonprofit organizations too. And it's funny, like if I go to like church groups or religious groups, there's always an expectation that you're gonna do things for charity. And it's like I'm a Christian, I'm Christian, I'm practicing, but I'm not like a chest beater. I'm pretty laid back. But like they always have the expectation, like you should do it for charity, you should do it for God, and it's like there's a certain line where you gotta draw a line and say, well, I gotta make a living too. If I do everything, for charity, then I'll be out of my ass, and so my
Mhm.
family will be homeless. But these same people that have that expectation are like driving like BMWs and have like a huge in-ground pool, and they got seat
Yeah.
warmers all through their house. I mean, their toilets hold their peckers for them, and they have a bidet that cleans their air hole when they take a crap. I mean, it's like, really, you're gonna be cheap. So that's the dark side of it. It's like charity is great, but on the flip side, I think there's a stigma that's created by all this charity stuff, where people say, "Oh, if you're monetizing, you're the devil." No, you gotta be smart about it. It's gotta be a balance, because if you're doing freebies all the time, eventually you lose the spirit of giving. And this is perfect. This is a callback. This is Christmas, right? The Christmas
Right.
season. And if you lose the spirit of generosity and helping out your fellow mankind, then don't do it at all. The worst thing you could do is be helpful, but do it with a hardened heart. Because then
Exactly.
the whole thing is lost. The whole spirit is lost. And what you're going to end up doing is regretting it and making it seem like a terrible thing. It's like, oh, he only did it as a PR thing. He doesn't care about these homeless people or these, Ethiopian kids with the bloated stomachs. It's like, that's the kind of stuff that happens, unfortunately. I don't know.
Well, it does, but then you got to look at the other side of it. There are people that do things for reasons, and that's why I kind of started off to like how I was starting off. But I mean, there's times where there's just you can't. you can't afford to be charitable. I mean, there are things like
Yeah.
charity is everywhere, guys. And just because you don't think you're charitable, if you give a waitress